Alright, today we're going to talk about our alignment lesson, paper quilts in day 2. And day 3 we'll be doing in class because we're going to be going over the 4ths, the 6ths, and the 8ths. Tonight though we're going to concentrate on the 6ths and the 8ths. And in your paperwork you should have day 29 paper quilt that you should take it home tonight. And I'll have the 6ths and the 8ths in there. And the first one has 4 boxes drawn up and says divide it into 6. And I want you to try to figure out how you can divide one square into 6. Think of how you can do that. And then the next one, the next page, it'll say how can I divide it into 8s. And I want you to try to figure out how you can divide it into 8 equal parts. And work on that and see how you come up with that. So stop the video, work on the 6s and the 8s, and then we'll come back and we'll try to figure it out together how we're going to do it. So go ahead and stop your video. We'll be back. Alright, now you should have done your 6s and your 8s. And normally you can just crisscross and you get 4 equal sides. And then you'll be able to cut it again. Well, we can't do it in the 6. So unfortunately in the 6, we won't be able to use that good old crisscross that we talked about before. We have to think, how can we get that into the 6th? Well, one thing we can do, we can get into thirds by just 1, 2, and it should come up. Let's get that lines right. 1, 2. So we got 1, 2, 3. We got into thirds, but we didn't get into 6. So all we have to do now is draw the center line back down. Then we have 1 6, 1 6, 1 6, 1 6, 1 6, and 1 6. So now you can see how we do that. You had to cut it into thirds this way, and then cut it in half, and it will come out of 6. On the next one, we're trying to find your 8s. And that one we probably can use our 4, because we cut it in half, cut it in half. So we have 4. Well, we want to get an 8, so we can cut this in half and this one in half. So now we have 1 8, 1 8, 1 8, 1 8, and so on. So now we have 1 8. Try to see if you can find any other way you can cut it and get 1 6 and 1 8. But one thing I want you to think of tonight is if I had on a test, I had this shaded in, and this one shaded in. How many would be considered shaded in is going to be the question. Well, you want to count how many squares are shaded in. 1, 2, 3. So you put 3, and then you do not change the bottom number or the denominator. You want to keep that the same. So 3 over 6. Just like if we came over this one and this one was filled in, this one was filled in, this one was filled in. But the question says how many are not filled in. The question is how many are not filled in. So our first thing we would do is circle not, because that's our main question. And we would count how many are not. So this one is not, and this one is not, that's 2. This one is not, that's 3. That's 4, and that's 5. We write 5, and again, we do not change the denominator or the 8. So do 5 over 8. Now I want you to just kind of think of those, and again, try to see if you can find another way to cut your 6 or your 8s compared to what you already had done. And again, the third day of quilts, or day 30, we'll be doing it in class tomorrow. So you've been flipped tonight.